I mean, I really, truly feel a shift energetically, intuitively, and they're talking about like this merging with your higher self in a way that like is like a direct line now. We're gonna be able to like really just like so much more.
So because we're going to do a whole episode, actually probably have the circle come in and talk about it, but what they've been talking about, and I know some of these concepts will sound like you've sort of heard about it before, like the light body merging with the physical body and concepts of embodiment. But it's only when I'm actually channeling this stuff that I actually really get.
Welcome to Spread Your Third Eye. We're back.
We're back. Woohoo.
Back in the studio again.
Yes. It's sort of, yeah.
This isn't an official episode. We're going to do a little promo.
We're going to do a little promo. Are we doing a promo or are we doing an episode? See if it rolls into an episode. I thought we were doing an episode. We're just gonna
go with it, guys.
You were just gonna go with it. Yeah.
We're only gonna get on for a little bit because
we just did a new setup.
Yeah.
Here in the studio, we got a professional person to come and help us with the lighting. So you might notice things start looking a little bit more consistent.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best because we're trying to bring a quality product to you. But we love making the show so much.
Yeah. And we wanted to kind of to give you like the energy right now of what's
scoops
going on. Some scoops.
Yeah, scoops. Well, first of all, should we tell them about the solar flares?
Yeah, but I was going to also say about how every time we open up portals, every time we start an episode. Yes. And so we just did. And I wanted to I'll give you the stage to kind of tell us what we do and how we open up these major gateways.
Major gateways. So this was something that came through in a session with a client of mine. Who's done a lot of stuff. She's written a bunch of books about the Rosicrucians and
Indiana Jones.
Right? Well, that kind of idea, like the concept of not she is a.
I don't know.
No, but no, you're making my brain space out. That it's the Holy Grail.
That's what I was talking about.
She's written a bunch of books about the Holy Grail, but the OG Holy Grail, not Indiana Jones trying to find the Holy Grail, like the actual the concept of the Holy Grail, which was like this kind of power source thing. And
is it like the Covenant in a way?
I don't know. I can't cross. Is that like a movie? Like a
I thought it was from the Bible.
I don't know. Anyway, we don't know what to do. Wait, let's just give the concept. Okay. And it's actually a super powerful concept. So if you're actually watching this, we're giving you something that's actually very powerful. Like when we talk about the Holy Grail, like when the circle came in to share this and the special guides that kind of came in to share this information, basically the idea is that there is like a power source, these portal gateways that you can open up. And you have to understand that all the solutions, all the problems that we have now in the future, when those problems are solved, right? They're not problems anymore.
They're somewhere in a parallel reality where all these problems have been solved, right?
Yeah, like in the and we would perceive that as the future.
Okay, yeah, somewhere in the future.
Somewhere in the future, the problems that we have now have been solved. And you can open up a gateway to that future consciousness and invite that intelligence to come in and actually embed now. And that's how those solutions will begin to start to manifest. Mm-hmm. So let's just say
suffering, just in
suffering.
General.
Like let's just say it's suffering. So we have suffering in the planet right now. Yeah. So before every episode, we do a little something to open up the
major portal
gateways, and we invite the future consciousness that is already beyond the suffering of humanity to enter in. And it could come across in stuff that we're talking about, but it's also just the codes that we bring in every episode. And the tricky thing about this, because so many people used to try and find the Holy Grail, open the Holy Grail, because people wanted to access this power, because it's very powerful to be able to access future consciousness, right? And to bring something in, because if you're a bit of a wicked, like evil megalomaniac, and you're like, I want the power to like destroy whatever, this group of people or that group of people. So the gateway was always protected actually by a question, and anybody who was in their ego like that would never actually ask the right question. This is what my the author that this information came through told me later, said that the Holy Grail was actually protected by questions, and that anybody who was really in their ego just wouldn't ask the right questions to open it up, because it'd be like, open up and give me the power to like be a bastard, basically. Yeah. So we were given the question, which is actually very simple. It's very profound. And it's basically that you come into your heart and you just ask that question, which is, how can I help alleviate the suffering of humanity? And when you go into your heart and you ask that question, it opens up these portals into future consciousness, and you can start to bring that intelligence in right now. And so we always do that before every episode now. And when we started doing this, when this information came in, because when we were first shooting the podcast, we didn't have this information. And then it came in, and Mia's like really good at it. She's always like, remember, we got to open up the gateway. All the episodes that we've shot since we started doing that, they get a lot more views, don't they? Yeah. So somewhere along the line, we started bringing this in, and the episodes are just embedded with more of this like future consciousness.
Frequencies.
And
that's the thing, every time you watch an episode, you are getting these high frequency codes, upgrades.
Like, we're bringing in the stuff to help alleviate the suffering of humanity.
This is what this whole work is about. We are here to figure out how to help alleviate the suffering of humanity within ourselves, within everybody. Like, we are literally
doing
coming
that work
together to try to. So can you just
like, share, and subscribe?
Can you help us help you in the world?
Help you. Because when the thing is, when future consciousness comes in like that, it's always going to kind of upset the apple cart of the old consciousness. So we also have to do like a lot of processing as that energy that's resistant to that future consciousness is like moving out. And so Mia tracks this, that every time I come into town.
Oh, this is cool. Okay, so the first time that we got together ever, I had just met her for the second time in person. I didn't even know how it was going to go. I had never done a podcast.
Just showed up at her house.
Let's
make the mask.
Like, hi, nice to meet you. Well, we're going to do this,
Well, we'd met at the Sedona.
Once. But we had been working together for a couple of years. But so we did the whole thing, I don't know, a couple of days, and we filmed like a bunch of episodes. Yeah. And then I left to New York within like a day or two after we left, or after we finished. And I had never seen so many solar flares ever, because I follow it. Yeah. And it was just like, it was May of 2024. So I'm sure if you guys remember May of 2024 and you follow the solar flares. I mean, it was every day. It was like M8, X class, M7, M5. It was like, I couldn't believe it, almost a whole month. Well, I didn't think twice about it. But then we get together again. And then we get together and we're filming, and we have an X class 9, X class 7. And I'm like, what? Why are we getting all these solar flares every time we get together? And then, so I started tracking it. Every single time we get together, we get an X class solar flare. So I was just telling my assistant right before she came, I was getting out my log again, finding it in my notes. And I was like, hey, I'm getting out my log, because I swear every time she comes into town, solar flares, and what are solar flares?
It's consciousness. It's new consciousness hitting the planet.
New downloads, new downloads,
because it is the sun consciousness is like this physicalization of source consciousness. So when sun consciousness is releasing these solar flares, there's like, on an actual geomagnetic level, like, this is a real phenomena that starts to affect things like weather, like communications devices start to break down. Everybody's nervous systems are like this. But from the consciousness perspective, it is this new consciousness that the sun, source consciousness, is releasing, sending to Earth to bring these upgrades into like the collective intelligence
of
the earth consciousness.
Very on brand for when we get together, because that's what we're doing for everybody, right? So I told her, I said, I'm getting out my log because I bet you we're going to have X-class solar flares.
Yeah.
And on her way, the very next day, on her way, X-class, and then an M8, M7, which you could see the graph, and it looked like almost 4 X-class solar flares.
Yeah.
And I went right up to her. I was like, on her way, she's driving to us. We've already started. So it's actually pretty amazing. I'll keep you updated. Every time when we get together, which is 2 to 3 times a year.
Yeah, to shoot the episodes.
We always have, and then a timeline jump on the Schumann resonance the last time.
That's right.
And I just started recording those, documenting them.
Yeah.
And then we had a timeline jump this time. Yeah.
So this is parallel reality.
This is a portal gateway, and it's really powerful, and we're hoping that we can help assist humanity and create a new reality.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
We
don't want to suffer anymore.
We don't want to suffer. So that's what we do. We open up the portal. We invite that new consciousness to come in, the consciousness from the future, which is already beyond the suffering. We have the sun, because it's basically, as we're starting to think about what we want to bring forward in the show. And it's also the people out there who are watching the show as we're bringing ideas forward, and you're having more questions about this or that. All of that is being responded to. So it's like your future selves who are watching this, when this actually comes out, you're going to have your questions. All of that energy is brewing as we're making the show, and it's, or the intelligence. So I don't sleep, I'm always like like I drove here from Arizona, it's like 8 hours, and I'm just like don't sleep a lot of the time.
And now we're getting ready to go to the channel panel, and I had a session with the Circle of Light, and major gateways are opening up right now. So she's coming over here. And by the way, it's a full moon, Taurus full moon, because we're in November right now.
Yeah, we're in November. Yeah.
And like me and my assistant and my friends were like, all we're just all frantic, and like all these things keep happening. We're like, so, it's just been a really intense,
like a lot of intense energy.
But it's also this whole thing, because there's a lot of high frequency energy coming, getting ready for us to go to this channel panel.
Yeah.
Which is going to be some major stuff.
By
the time we're bringing those codes back, by the way.
That's right.
For the following episodes.
Because this group of episodes that we're shooting before and after the channel panel, and the event. By the time this comes out, the event may have already passed, but it is a gathering of like 10 of the world's major channelers,
Bashar,
and
Wendy Kennedy, Rob Gauthier, a lot of the greats. Hello, right here. Hello.
Don't talk me up, but talk me up if you want to, No, but it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge energy. So a lot of stuff is going to happen during that gateway as well. So we'll be bringing those codes back from the channel panel. I mean, we might not even be human by the time we come back for the
when I first met Georgia in Sedona, I went there, and the energy was so intense. At one point, I had to go lay down in my car because it was just, I had to take a little break.
Yeah.
I work out typically solidly 4 days a week. This was a couple years back when I did this. When I came back, I could not work out. My body just kept saying no. Right. And finally I had a session with the Circle of Light about it, because I was like, why can't I work out? It's been like a couple of months, and my body was just like, I mean, this stuff is so powerful. And they said you are literally in like a whole rebuilding.
Rebirth.
Yeah. And they said this is going to take
pregnant with yourself.
2-year cycle.
Yeah.
2 years. It took me about a year to get back to like working out 3 days a week, and now I'm kind of back. But this kind of work is serious. I mean, it's very.
It's major rewriting, major codes.
It's amazing, but we are being reborn and rebuilt and upgrading our DNA, and it's amazing.
So just to so it's about 2 years since I did that Sedona event, now we're doing channel panel, and I don't do tons of live events just because of a plethora of reasons. But so it's very interesting that this month, this event is happening this month, and it is that. So basically, after the Sedona event, they were just really talking about this kind of gestation period that we're all kind of pregnant with ourselves. And a lot of that stuff about feeling tired and not having the same amount of energy is that we need that energy that we might disperse, like working out or something like that, basically to rebuild ourselves at this kind of cellular level. And the calls that happened after that Sedona event were off the charts.
Listen,
like
the architects
of the Matrix and the physical avatar, I think, as well. And they're basically
to rebuild our organs, by the way.
Just doing some of that. And because basically what they're saying is we all incarnated for this time, right? We came in for this time of great transition, but we had to incarnate with a biology and an energetic system that could handle the 3D grid and functioned, well enough on the 3D grid, which is why a lot of people who are, these kind of advanced consciousnesses struggle with a lot of things like inflammation and nervous system stuff, because we have this kind of like hybrid setup, and it's hybridized so it could actually go through this transition, this reincarnation without dying, to become like a 5D system. And this is the meat computer, basically. This is the system that creates the reality, renders the reality that you perceive and receive and project. So in order to create a new reality, the meat computer has to be rerouted, basically. And so once there were these like tipping points of the amount of consciousness of people who are like ready to move on to the 5D grid, like the 5D grid energy is strong enough, these major biological rewrites are happening. And also in the conference calls and in the one-on-one sessions.
Let's go ahead and segue into the most recent Monday Night Awakenings. I'd call her and be like, oh my gosh. They're just getting
better, wilder.
It's just more wild and more wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, truly feel a shift energetically, intuitively, and they're talking about like this merging with your higher self in a way that is like a direct line now. We're going to be able to like really just like so much more. So because we're going to do a whole episode, actually probably have the circle come in and talk about it. But what they've been talking about, and I know some of these concepts will sound like you've sort of heard about it before, like the light body merging with the physical body and concepts of embodiment. But it's only when I'm actually channeling this stuff that I actually really get the depth of what is going on. It isn't just like, oh, your light's coming into your body. It's literally this rewriting on the biological level. So, for example, one of the sessions was the merging of the physical DNA with the new consciousness DNA. And they talked about how our DNA, essentially, because we create reality through this meat computer. So whatever your DNA is this very core level that the parameters of your reality can actually have, like it's the outer limits of what your DNA is basically saying. This is the outer limits of what you can actually experience in this incarnation. And then depending on how you make your choices, the gene expression, what you choose to activate by how you eat or how you do whatever, will determine what of that potential, that outer limit parameter of your reality you can actually experience. But what's happening now is that the new energetic DNA is coming in and merging with the old biological DNA and opening up the parameters. So whatever our limitations were, when I'm talking about parameters, I'm talking about like that outer edge of possibility, like the potentiality. That new energetic DNA is coming in and changing the parameters of, because what our biology defines, it's what we experience, basically. So when the biology actually shifts, that's when you get the major visceral shifts in the experienced reality itself. And there's more to it. Let's give an example of what you're talking about, because are you talking about something like when your biology shifts, i.e. maybe something in your pineal gland, now you can see into other dimensions? Or are you talking about, oh, well, no, my biology has shifted, and so now I can probably get that other job that I didn't think I was capable of, and I have more confidence?
Look, it's kind of all of the above, honestly, because it is the parameter of your existence. So let's
here's one of the things that they're saying is now our affirmations and manifestations, you're actually taking more of your power back, and manifesting is going to be so much easier. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So essentially this whole process that's been going on for years and years, which has been priming us to move on to the 5D grid, to start to create reality from the 5D, from the heart, unlimited creative construct of the heart, and not the limited contracted construct of the mind, right? Okay. That's what this whole process is about. It's required changing the energy grids of the planet, and now our actual biology, our ability to generate this reality and experience it viscerally. So what they have basically been calling this idea is like reincarnating without dying. Mm-hmm. So we're staying in our body. We're having the old 3D life basically kind of die off. And we're bringing in new consciousness, just like when a baby is born, its new consciousness comes into the planet, and we're being reborn. But we don't have to go through the childhood again. Yeah. We don't have to go through the death, and then we don't have to also go through the childhood, where we pick up all that imprinting from the experience of incarnation, from our parents, from being at school, all that stuff.
The trauma programs.
The trauma programs, all that stuff.
Yeah. Generational.
All of that stuff. This is trauma. This is like basically being here and being like, oh, I'm reincarnating in my body, and now I get to consciously choose and define what I want this. Yeah, what I want this and reincarnation to be about.
Not manifesting based off, because you're manifesting based off your frequencies all the time. You're manifesting your reality. So when you have that trauma of
that unconscious
energy, you're going to continue to create situations in your life that you don't like. There's cycles of repeating.
Like, why am I creating this?
Why am I creating this? So that's what we've been doing.
Why am I attracted to bad boy?
Clearing it all. Now I want to be able to consciously create. Like, this is what I want to do today. This is what I want to make. This is the job I want to do next. And
it's really like, because it's also really just about defining the quality and the characteristics of our life, because they're sort of like saying, don't get so specific where it's like, I want the red like I want the red Ferrari, because they're saying the heart, we still don't know
what's best.
We still don't know what's best, because we're still going into a new reality that's been created from the heart, and has a limitless, food on the buffet, basically. So if we're too obsessive, like, I just want the sultanas, I just want the sultanas, and then there's all this this great cuisine of life that we've never experienced before. But what we can be sure about is that, the heart already knows we're worthy and deserving of having a great life, of having physical vitality in the body. They're basically saying be very focused on, because we've been doing so much work processing the old stuff. It's easy for us to be like, oh, I'm going to focus on this kind of, resistance stuff again. Now they really want us to be like, okay,
driving the ship,
focus that energy. Yeah, focus that energy on what you want, and see it like, it's not just like, I'm in this incarnation washing around and I now I tried this, now I want that. Like, really see it like I'm reincarnating. Matter of factly, I'm going to define this life for me, the characteristics and qualities of this life for me to experience now, regardless of what I've experienced in the past. So it's not like, it's not like
it's just joy, happiness,
vitality, well-being, feeling safe. That your relationships, love,
joy.
Connection.
Is that a lot to ask?
Well, it's everything that the heart's going to want for you anyway. And then the heart has more in store for us. So if we continue to practice our heart centering, or you can go into your heart and also be like, heart, show me, what should I be trying to define right now for myself to move into this next incarnation? Because we have been doing a lot of cleaning up work. We have been facing a lot of trauma and, seeing kind of the worst of humanity played out on these bigger projectional, the broader quantum projection, like the news stories, social media, all this kind of really gnarly, horrible stuff that's been revealed to us as stuff that we need to purge out of our systems in order to open up and receive and embody these new codes. And we've talked about that in other episodes, like, why is there these horrible news stories going on right now? it's because we have so much old encoding, DNA coding from our survival zeitgeist that in order for us to clear at that level, we've had to kind of project it out on the big screen and see kind of the worst of humanity's densest consciousness. So we can process it and we can move beyond it. And so we can choose differently. So where we've had like war and hoarding and greed and, you know, we can have peace and we can move beyond it. And we don't really know what life is without those programs running on some level. So that's why there's this sort of like, okay, but I know my heart wants me to be happy. I know my heart wants me to have beautiful relationships. I know my heart wants me to have fun. Yeah. We know that our hearts want us to move beyond suffering and to exist in a reality that is transcendent of a lot of this shimmery that we've been dealing with. So,
and I'm going to put a plug in because I just uploaded an episode on deleting files in your brain. And I think that's like that's a goodie.
That's a goodie. So I mean,
there's
so much good stuff. We're so excited to share more stuff with you.
We'll just wind down here, but we just got Georgia's been putting this together, a whole university. So if you want to help clear the survival programs, if you want to be authentically positive, if you want to learn how to bend the matrix, she has a whole now university that you can go
now, because we've talked about the boot camps that we have, and they used to all the programs were like you could buy it individually. Now I am making a subscription so you can get all of the boot camps. And the subscription is less than what you would pay for one of it, like the per month subscription. So it's a great way. Now you don't have to be like, do I want this one? Do I want that one? You can just get all of them. All of them. The whole activation gateway, nearly 1,000 Circle of Light transmissions, so you can catch up on what's going on. Everybody, it's like people are like, where's the latest upload? I'm like, I'm driving across the country. I'm trying to get it uploaded for you and stuff like that. Because it's like, what's happening next in the Monday
nights, guys?
It's off the charts.
It's off the charts.
Yeah.
And here's another thing: is they attune you. Because sometimes that energy can get a little wild if you're not like they're like, okay, some major gateways are going to open, and so let's just already pre-attune you so you don't have so many of the integrated of shadow and chaotic energies.
Because that's the whole point. Like, why would you come and actually study with us? Like, we're giving you all this information, but the idea of working with us is that we can make this process more graceful for people, more smooth, and so you can get to the good stuff faster than if you're just trying to figure it out on your own. Like, why am I like, why is my nervous system going off right now? Why am I experiencing weird stuff as I'm opening up multidimensionally? We're going to do an episode on that. People getting all like the creepy experiences, the dark forces. We're going to do an episode on that. So there's a lot of things that you can learn from that broader wisdom of the circle that will make this experience much more graceful and get you through it faster, rather than one of the cycles of suffering is stuff comes up, and because people don't know how to deal with it, they start to push it back down, and then it comes up and they push it down. And it actually never gets cleared. It never gets healed. You never move beyond that paradigm. So all of our teachings is how to like get you moving along here.
Move up.
Everybody
Let's enjoy life.
Enjoy
Let's be
life.
happy and just like have fun.
Have fun.
No worries.
And to be in this new creative construct, which is a lot about. I think we've got to leave that to the circle to explain all that stuff.
We'll wind it down here.
We'll wind it down here.
Give you a little snippet
of
what's going on. We're
what's
back.
Coming up.
We're coming out with new episodes.
Yeah.
We got a whole new university coming, so you guys can get caught up.
Get caught up. Yeah. Wherever you're at, even if you're just discovering this show, there's a lot to catch you up, but the one thing that will really catch you up is to just start the heart centering practice as well.
Number 2.
Learn how to heart center.
Yes.
Learn how to heart center, learn how to ground right now, learn how to open up and receive, these new consciousness codes in, because things are moving fast now. They're really moving fast. So if you are feeling a little, it's exciting. But if you're biologically not quite ready for it, or you don't quite understand what's going on, you could be feeling a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. So we want to help you like open up and actually just like receive the new consciousness, embody it, and then start playing in that game.
We're here for it. We love you guys.
We love you. Yay.
To be continued. See you soon.
See you soon. I will